From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News Weekend Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Saturday edition of the Fbx Evening News. I'm Katie Looper. Our top story tonight. Alaska U.S. Senator Dan Sullivan says he was extremely disappointed with the Senate Democrats blocking a vote on President Obama's nuclear agreement with Iran. 4 months ago, the Senate passed the Iran Nuclear Agreement Review Act by a vote of 98-1, enabling Congress to have an up or down vote. Sullivan said if the president is proud of this agreement, he shouldn't be directing Senate Democrats to filibuster it. The senator said Americans are overwhelmingly opposed to this deal and would like to know where the elected officials stand.
What do Alaskans think? What do the American people think? You know, like all of my colleagues, I spent my recess back home in Alaska, and I talked to hundreds of my fellow Alaskans at town hall meetings, roundtable discussions, our state fair. Remarkably, I did not have one Alaskan come up to me saying, I really think you should support that Iranian nuclear deal of the president's. Every single interaction I had.
Alaska Governor Bill Walker says he is heading to Japan next week to speak at a conference on liquefied natural gas and spread the word about Alaska's rich gas reserves. Walker is listed as a keynote speaker at the LNG Producer Consumer Conference in Tokyo Wednesday. Walker says he plans to meet with the prospective LNG buyers about bringing the gas to the global market. He says he also plans to meet with the producers, but emphasizes he is not going to Japan to look for partners for a proposed major LNG project in Alaska. The Walker administration has been working on advancing the project, which the governor sees as crucial for the oil-dependent state. The project is still in its early stage with no decision by its partners on whether to build it.
No one's going to tell the story about Alaska like Alaska will tell the story. We are an owner state, and it's time we act like an owner state. And what an owner state does is you show up and you make sure the world is aware of the product that we have available. Our gas is very unique. It's the closest U.S. gas to Asia. One of the biggest unknowns in an LNG project is are you going to find the gas? Well, we find it every day with the oil and put it back in the ground. So it's the most proved reserves on the planet.
China Airlines will be testing the Fairbanks tourism market with 3 charter flights this winter. Around 280 passengers will be aboard each plane traveling directly from Taipei to the Golden Heart City in early December. The trip comes at a time when Chinese tourism to Alaska is increasing. Travel marketing organization Explore Fairbanks is also currently pushing to position the interior as a primary aurora viewing destination in Asian markets. Tickets for the December charters were publicized by China Airlines and sold out quickly in Taipei. Explore Fairbanks Tourism Director Scott McCree says airlines operating out of Fairbanks International Airport are well equipped to keep up with the demand moving forward.
Delta has that connection over there with the Asian market with direct flights from Seattle to Beijing, Shanghai, and Tokyo. And now Alaska Airlines recently announced a mileage partnership program with Hainan Airlines. For China Airlines, this is testing the waters, with these 3 charters in December. And I think, how successful those are will depend on what they decide to do, going into 2016.
Work is continuing on a park in North Pole meant to honor the lives of 2 Alaska State Troopers killed in the line of duty. The Memorial Park in North Pole is coming along, according to North Pole Police, and Thursday workers were pouring the concrete for the walls. Officials hope the park will be completed sometime next year and say they have received numerous donations in the forms of contract workers and materials. But their work isn't done, and they're asking for help from the public. They're trying to get a pavilion to Alaska that can be set at the memorial, and anyone wanting to donate can visit the City of North Pole's website. But for now, the Chief of Police, Steve Dutra, says it's great to see the park coming together to honor these 2 men and others like them.
It's a place of reflection, and it's a place where people can come and pay their respects to those who've died in the line of service to the state and the government or their city or municipality. Gotten a significant amount of in-kind donations from 3 specific contractors. That's Rady Concrete and Weber Inc. and Miranda Electric. And between the 3 of them, there are probably about $120,000 worth of manpower and material that they've been donating to this project. So we're extremely happy and we're encouraged by some of the support they're receiving from the subcontractors.
When we come back, tons of people were gathered at Pioneer Park this morning for the annual March for Babies. We'll have the details. Also, kids from 0 to 8 were offered free health screenings at the 5th annual Alyeska Best Beginnings Health Fair at Pioneer Park earlier today. Those stories and more when we return. Stay with us. Welcome back. A milestone has been marked in the construction of the new surgery center at the Fairbanks Memorial Hospital. Ironworkers laid the final piece of structural steel on the building early Friday morning. The Fairbanks Hospital Foundation hosted a topping off ceremony to celebrate the occasion. Community members were able to sign the last beam, which was capped with an evergreen tree to celebrate safe working conditions before it was put in place. The building is a part of the $88 million surgery project at FMH. It is expected to be completed by 2017. Fairbanks Hospital Foundation committee member Scott Bell says thinking about the final results has made working on the surgery center exciting.
Well, of course, it's going to help the community. We're providing 7 new operating rooms and greatly improve the operating capability here at the hospital. So it's going to be a big improvement for healthcare in the community, and that's part of the mission, and that's part of the excitement for those of us who are involved with it.
This morning at Pioneer Park, people were getting ready to walk and march for babies. Participants were dancing to warm up for a walk around the park with friends, family teams, and company teams. Volunteers help raise money to help improve the health of babies here in the interior. A lot of the money stays in Alaska to help Alaska mothers and babies, but there's a portion of it that goes to research out of state. Claudia Maribel has been participating in March for Babies for approximately 15 years. She is a twin that was born prematurely. Her mother contracted polio, but luckily overcame it. At that time, the organization was called March of Dimes, created to eradicate polio. Maribel is very thankful for the March of Dimes organization.
Well, I just want to say that everyone who has been a parent or is going to be a parent realizes the importance of a healthy and happy baby. And I think that's the most important thing to remember is without the monies raised, that the research won't happen and the babies, will have a great chance in a good education, and the parents also. So I think it's a very worthy cause.
Earlier today at Creamer's Field, there was a Kiwanis hike to save a life where people could come down and register for the hike. Participants received a free t-shirt, entered to win a door prize, and hiked for the Borealis Forest Boardwalk in Creamer's Field. Proceeds will help eliminate maternal neonatal tetanus, a deadly disease that infects newborn babies that usually occurs in developing countries. The fundraising campaign aims to raise $110 million to eliminate maternal and neonatal tetanus completely.
As an international club, and right now we're at $100 million. So we got 1 more year left in the commitment, and hopefully we'll be eliminating maternal neonatal tetanus worldwide. So we're saving quite a few lives. $1.80 saves 3 lives. They're doing a hike around the Boreal Forest Trail in Creamer's Field. So it's nice boardwalk trail, stroller accessible. So it's just kind of a fun way to raise money for a great cause.
Now that school is back in session and cold season's here, kids were offered free healthcare screenings to check up on their well-being. Today was the 5th annual Alyeska Best Beginnings Health Fair at Pioneer Park. Local volunteers provided health screenings for kids ages 0 to 8. They had a free vision, hearing, height, weight, and dental checkups. Upstairs, there were many local resources available to families. Rachel Ramp said that health fair has been growing every year with more providers wanting to get involved, along with more resource tables.
Last year we had about 600 people come through the door. Over 300 of those were kids. So we got all those kiddos screened. This program is put on by the Fairbanks Families Partnership. We're a partnership of the Best Beginnings, which is a statewide program geared at getting kids ready to succeed, ready to start kindergarten, ready to go. And we think it's important to include health screenings and knowing what resources are available in the community so that parents can have the support that they need to help get those kids ready to succeed.
For the past few years, signs have been appearing that the main part of downtown is making a comeback with new businesses popping up. The latest addition is a combination coffee shop / performance chamber and art gallery. The venue, located on 2nd Avenue across from Big Ray's, showcases local artists using all forms of mediums. The store also offers Alaska-made crafts, including homemade doggy biscuits. The business was created by young investors that not only wanted to enhance the downtown area, but offer a unique buying experience.
So we run FairbanksAlaska.com. And we have an events calendar, and we have a local directory. We thought, what if we created a physical space that could bring the community together? Think local art, a sort of indoors farmers market, drink, food, and just somewhere, an event space, local event space where we could do First Fridays. And this is what happened. Venue came about.
Mike Fussel's coming up next with all your local sports action. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, Interior Alaska. Mike Fussell here with your latest local action, and we're now deep into the high school football season. The North Pole Patriots hosted the Kodiak Bears in a game that would be neck and neck through the final whistle yesterday evening. With everything coming down to the fourth quarter, Laffey Skips would save it all for North Pole with an 11-yard touchdown run at 4 minutes left in the game. But the Bears held strong until the very end. A Kodiak QB sneak put them just 4 points away from the Patriots with a score of 52-48 with just 2 minutes and 47 seconds left until the game was over. Turnovers would put the Bears in a position to score with just seconds left on the clock, but the Patriots defense would hold Kodiak back. North Pole goes on to take the victory 52-48. Quarterback Dew Rogers helped the Pats finish on top with 287 yards. With the win, North Pole clinches the Southeast Conference title and a top seed in the playoffs.
We respond with like that smile, ear to ear, so happy because no matter what team it is, no matter what, like if you're competing as hard as you can with your brothers in a game that's going to be coming down to the last seconds, there's no better feeling. There's a couple better feelings, but this is top one. This is like top 5 or something.
Yeah, well, the only way we're going to be ready for the playoffs is if we have some pushing going, and that's what our next 3 games are. They're going to be extremely tough, and if we can manage it and really work hard in those games, we'll be ready for that playoff game.
And the Monroe Catholic Rams played the Vosnesenka Cougars at the Big Dipper earlier today. It was wet and chilly on the field, but that had no effect on the Rams. They would first get on the board early in the second quarter, and from then on they would go on a whirlwind scoring run. By the end of the third quarter, Monroe would be up 44-0. Strong defensive play started the Rams deep in Cougar territory many times. Voss got into the end zone with about a minute left in the game, but it was just a chip off of the Titanic deficit. Monroe finishes on top 44-6. And the West Valley Wolfpack was on the road last night for a Rail Belt football matchup. The game would be their first conference contest of the season. The Wolfpack met up with the Wasilla Warriors, and West would wake up from their previous weekend slump with a 54-7 win. Joshua Cummings ran for 96 yards with 3 touchdowns to help edge the Wolfpack over the Warriors. Zach Lester threw for 185 passing yards, connecting for 2 TDs in the end zone. The West Valley defense was just as potent. It just wouldn't let the Warriors come out and play. No, it wouldn't. They forced 5 turnovers in the second half and even brought 1 back to the house for a pick 6. West Valley will play Colony here in Fairbanks next weekend. And football players weren't the only ones braving the wet and cold conditions earlier today. Around 30 runners met up at UAF for the 4th annual Troth Yada Run for the Park. The 5K course looped around the green space by the same name and was an official Running Club North event. The park and race celebrates the Alaska natives who came to the hill to share farming knowledge with other settlers. Christian Hunter took the top spot this year in the overall race. He came in far ahead of the rest of the pack with a time of 23 minutes and 18 seconds. Hunter says despite the poor cold conditions, he felt he ran a good race.
It was good. I did good on it. I keep my pace up. I feel very good about this running. Like, I've improved myself in running when I was in Minto, practicing a lot and all that. and this race was good. Kind of cold too. My hands are numb too, guarding.
And it's that time of the year again. The Fairbanks Ice Dogs laced up their skates for their opening game of the season. The Dogs took on the Kenai River Brown Bears at the Soldotna Sports Club. Logan Coombs would be the first to spice things up on the ice, finding the back of the net late in the first period. And just seconds later, Tyler Tomberlin would keep the momentum alive with a shorthanded goal. The Dogs would go into the first, break up 3-0 and double the tally in the second, with Kenai only getting into the sweet spot once for a 6-1 score after 2. The Brown Bears would tack on another point in the third, but it was not enough to outpace the Ice Dogs. Fairbanks wins it 6-2. And that about brings us to the buzzer for sports tonight. Don't forget to log on to Twitter and follow us at KTVF11 Sports for our latest updates. Katie Looper has your full weather forecast coming up next. Thanks for checking in, and we'll see you next weekend. Welcome back to our Saturday edition. Yeah, earlier today covering football was a little wet and muddy for the guys out there, and just a little chilly for me. Is that going to be, are we going to continue to see weather like that?
Sadly, it looks like rain all next week. But let's take a look at the almanac for today. We had a normal high today of 57. Today's low is 37. Our record high got up to 78 in 1910 and a record low of 19 in 1927. Now our sun rose at 7:05 this morning and sets at 8:30 this evening. Our daylight equals 13 hours and 25 minutes altogether, giving us a loss of 7 minutes from yesterday. Now around the state today, rain showers in Juneau around 50 degrees, yet partly sunny skies in Ketchikan around 60. Same with Anchorage and Kodiak. It's 57 for Kodiak and 50 for Cold Bay. Rain showers in Denali Park around 50 degrees, yet up in there in Barrow, 33 with cloudy skies for them, and 43 in Fairbanks with partly sunny skies. For our lower 48, we can see sunny skies in Seattle around 80 degrees. Temperatures are still hot in Las Vegas and Phoenix around 105. As we look over to the east, Minneapolis is about 70 degrees. New Orleans is sunny as well at 85, yet rain showers in Miami around 90 degrees, and same with New York around 80 degrees. For next week, we can expect spotty thunderstorms over Arizona, New Mexico area. As we look over to the east, heat's building up in the Midwest, drier in the deep south, yet thunderstorms over the Florida area, yet in nice temperatures on the east coast. Back in Alaska for today, for tomorrow, rain for Nome and Fort Yukon, mostly cloudy in Barrow. Temperatures ranging between the mid-30s to mid-40s and 49 in Nome. As for the interior, mostly cloudy skies across the region, temperatures all around 50 degrees. Now in the southeast portion of Alaska, mostly cloudy for Juneau and Ketchikan, temperatures in the mid-50s. As we look over to the west, we can see rain for Bethel and Cold Bay, partly sunny in Kodiak, temperatures around 50 for Bethel and Kodiak, and 58 in Cold Bay and 58 in Kodiak. Now for South Central, mostly sunny skies across the region and temperatures all in the mid-50s. Nice weather there. All right, for tonight's forecast, temperatures around 40 degrees, mostly cloudy, chance of rain and snow, believe it or not. And for tomorrow, around 45, cloudy with a chance of rain. Now for extended outlook, temperatures all around 50 degrees. Our nightly temperatures are going from 40 to 30. I know, pretty much rain all day today.
Right.
And next week.
And you snuck in that and snow possibility there. That's a little scary. It seems too early for that.
I know, doesn't it?
Yeah, but despite the weather, people were still getting out, enjoying their day.
Yeah, I know March of Dimes totally didn't ruin their mood. They're having a great time dancing today. And we're actually going to leave you with some credits of that. So
great.
That'll wrap up this Saturday edition of the Fairbanks Evening News, and we're glad you could join us.
Join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
From all of us here at the News Center, have a good night.
Here we go, to the left. To the right, to the right, to the right now. To the left. To the right now. And right. And left.